jail. But if you're in jail, you probably did something.
Right.
Let's just go with that. Let's make a general term. And you always hear stories about convicts. So obviously,
actually, wait. I want to go against that.
Okay.
Before you get started.
All right.
Because I'm afraid one day I'm gonna be in jail. Chances are I may.
Right.
I'm saying it's about a 50-50.
Right.
So all the guys in jail are innocent.
All right. Because if you're in there, you're gonna want to know that you're innocent.
Right.
All right. Well, this guy...
No, not that I'm innocent.
Right.
That I'm protected by the guys I'm going to jail
Oh,
with.
you don't want to be trashing them. Do you think they're listening to our podcast?
I actually, on my other radio show, which I can't talk about, have many incarcerated listeners.
Really?
Many.
Oh.
And we get letters from them, written, of course.
Nice. Proposals?
We've had a few collect calls. We're like, no, we're not accepting
your proposals.
The female prison, they're huge listeners.
Oh, we should do one of our podcasts. We should do from a female prison.
I've always wanted to. When Metallica did it,
right?
You know, and of course Johnny Cash did it first. Maybe somebody did it before.
But we should do ours from a female prison.
You know how much strange we're gonna get?
Oh, that would be awesome. As Kramer would say, that's caged heat.
There's some major femininity.
That's right.
So continue.
Anyway, so this guy's so convicts, whenever they spend any amount of time in jail or prison, they always end up suing whoever's incarcerating them for all. Usually it's about what? Food. Usually the food sucks, so they want better food, more nutritional meals.
Right.
They might be suing
more
because
activities.
There's no air conditioning or heat. The blankets suck. Well, this guy in Los Angeles, and honestly, people in Los Angeles are a little crazy anyway. So why wouldn't the convicts be even crazier than the people? Yeah. He's suing. His name is Andrew Lars Fuchs. I assume that's how it's pronounced. Fuchs.
Oh man,
Fuchs.
It'd be awesome if
by the way,
Dr. Fuchs.
By the way, if you're in prison, you don't want your last name to sound anything like fuck.
No,
ever.
They're gonna make your life real bad.
Yeah, because
the school.
He has a nickname before he even sits down. All right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he is suing because he says that deputies there blasted him with a military-style ray gun. He says that he was acting up. Instead of restraining him with a taser or handcuffs or gas or whatever, however they would do it, he got shot with a military-style ray gun. And he said the device fires an invisible...
Why an accent?
Well...
Why an accent?
Because
we are so bad.
Because I'm picturing him with an accent.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because it sounds
the
better.
device fire.
And plus, I want our listeners at home
to know
to differentiate between you and me. It's not you or me talking about the ray gun. It's Mr. Fuchs.
Gotcha.
The device. The device fires an invisible electromagnetic reaction heat beam, causing unbearable pain to inmates.
You know what that is?
Claims.
And he's only one beat off of the exact thing, and it's science fiction. Minority Report, the movie.
Right.
They had this very same thing, but instead of a light beam, it was a sonic boom.
Right.
That they used against you.
But also War of the Worlds. They use like this electromagnetic heat beam as well.
Have you ever heard the original War of the Worlds?
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's really great. Well,
awesome.
And also the original movies from the 40s or 50s. The original War of the Worlds movie was one of my favorite movies of all time. My dad woke me up at 11 o'clock at night and said, "Come downstairs and watch War of the Worlds."
Really?
And it scared the shit out of me.
I bet.
It just scared the shit out of me. To the point now, when I see it on TV, I still get a little scared.
Sure.
I'm flashing back.
You're flashing back to childhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun fact, first time we take a vacation, we're going to play that movie just audio.
Oh.
Yeah. We know you can rent it. We know you can just turn it on your TV and watch it.
Right.
But we're going to play the original War of the Worlds, just audio, not the radio broadcast, which was just audio.
Right.
And not the updated version with Tom Cruise.
Right. No,
we're going to play the middle one.
Right.
With just audio.
I think that's great. I won't be able to listen to it.
No.
I'll be under the table.
We'll be on vacation.
Anyway, Mr. Fuchs has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. And although, now here's the scary part, the county of Los Angeles has in fact announced plans to use such a device. So either the guy is from the future and knows about this device that they're going to use, or he overheard someone talking about the heat ray that the cops are going to use, or they tested it out.
More likely, yeah.
So who's lying?
The government.
Huh?
The government is lying.
Government.
They said they're sitting around, it's like the governor calls the warden.
Right.
And he goes, I'm the governor. And you're the warden. Hey, warden. Yeah. We're going to try out this. We got this new military-style fuck your brain up weapon.
Heat ray. We got a heat ray.
Yeah, yeah.
And the warden says, I know just the guy we can use it on.
Fuchs. He's a dumbass.
Fuchs. He's so dumb. We call him Fucks.
That's how dumb he is.
He won't even see it coming. He's schizophrenic. We will heat ray all of his personalities.
That's right.
Into one. We will melt them into one personality.
Little did they know, Mr. Fuchs has some synapses still firing in his brain.
And obviously he finds a way to contact the newspapers and the media.
You cannot trust the government with technology, man. They're going to test it on somebody. Why not inmates?
And we're at the point in our life where technology is so modern, whatever people think up can come to fruition.
Here's what's weird. And before, we want this to be funny, but I feel very strongly about this. I actually believe this. The technology that is available to us now that we use every single day, that's in our hands, smartphones and Wi-Fi technology. The government was using it in the 50s and the 60s to spy on everyone, you included, and your grandparents,
and that technology was given to us by aliens.
So what are they? Yes, ancient aliens. Why do they listen?
Oh my God.
The best guy on the show is the guy with the hair,
right?
And he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Right. But why would anyone listen to a guy that looks like Cosmo Kramer with a beard?
Ever.
But
here's the weird thing. We have just become your typical podcast.
I know.
By talking about alien
conspiracy theories. What a bunch of jerks. So
no, I swear to God. I saw the flying saucer.
You guys aren't paying attention to what's going on around you.
Once you realize what's going on, it'll be too late.
DOS. Disk Operating System.
DOS. Here's number 2.
All right, I have story 2. All right. And this happened, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago? Ezekiel Elliott suspended for 6 games. Was it by the Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott's been suspended for 6 games by the NFL?
He went to Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. He was a big deal in Ohio State. Isn't that where he went to school?
It sounds about right.
I think he's from Ohio.
Okay. Which I hate.
And I'm only bringing that because I'm from Ohio.
I know you are.
And I've never been suspended by any team for any infraction ever. Just so
what
you know.
A terrible town, huh? I've showed you that, and I can't play it here because I don't know if it's copyrighted, but it's a brilliant thing, and I've showed it to you on YouTube.
It's on Cleveland. It's
the
based on
hastily made Cleveland tourism video. Look it up on YouTube.
Which is very funny, but I love Cleveland. If the weather didn't suck so much, I would live in Cleveland.
Are you the Ohio State fan?
No, I went to Xavier University.
Okay, there you go. So fuck the Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
Well, he was suspended 6 games for violating NFL's personal conduct policy that, according to the league last Friday, or 2 Fridays ago, whatever, doesn't matter. The suspension comes as a result of an investigation that started more than a year ago after an ex-girlfriend accused Elliott of domestic violence in Columbus, Ohio. Blah, 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 blah. His Twitter account, this was his first announcement, August 11th. He says, I'm both surprised and disappointed by the NFL's decision today, and I strongly disagree with the league's disruption. I don't want to hear your explanation. What is the likelihood that he beat up his girlfriend?
Here's the deal. The NFL, they are damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they don't suspend him, people are going to freak out.
Right.
By saying, oh, this guy, first of all, he wasn't convicted of anything. He wasn't charged with anything. They did an investigation, if I'm not mistaken, and didn't charge him with anything. But somehow the NFL, being the crack investigators that they are, seem to know more about it than the police.
Well, let's just say you're distracted in the car and you start wandering off to the right side of the road. Should you yank the wheel all the way to the left? This is what the NFL is in the process of. And I'm not saying that the guy did it or didn't do it, or I back him or I back anybody. I'm telling you, they had egg on their face with Ray Rice, and they have to do this. I don't care if a guy a millionaire loses a few weeks of playing football and making millions of dollars. Sit down. Yeah. You know who's going to be pissed off about this? Dallas Cowboys fans.
Yeah,
and who cares?
They're annoying anyway.
Very annoying.
Well, I find anybody that's a diehard fan of any team, because I'm a big Yankees fan, but you don't see me going, Yankees, Derek Jeter every 2 seconds.
You're not a football guy, huh?
So I'm not a big. I mean, I'll watch it when baseball is done. I'll watch football, but it's a distant second as far as favorite.
I'm an
sports.
Oakland Raiders fan, so I find, because you and I live in the Giants, Jets, Patriots region. You live in New York, so it's just Giants and Jets. Yeah. But where I live here in Danbury, Connecticut, it's Giants, Jets, and Patriots. Right. And I get to sit back and laugh
Here's what I'm going to do,
at
though.
2 of the 3, at least recently.
Who's the head of the NFL?
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell. I think because he's the one that suspended him for 6 games, right? He's the one. He was like the judge and the jury.
He gets
in this.
he gets the final call.
So here's what I want. From now on, if I'm accused of any crime of any kind, I want it to go before Roger Goodell.
No, you don't.
No, I do. I do.
Well, a couple of years ago you would, because he'd just go, all right.
Well, what's he going to say to me is, suppose I'm speeding. I'm going to say, you know what, officer, I want Roger Goodell to see my case. And what's he going to say? You can't do 6 gigs.
And you know where you're going to find R.C. Smith? Cape Coral, Florida.
That's right.
Tanning his buns.
I will release a statement saying, I just want to say that I am disappointed and upset over Goodell's suspending me for 6 shows.
1, 2, 3.
Here's number 3.
So we all piss.
Absolutely. Who doesn't?
I got to go right now.
Who doesn't? And you know where they really piss?
Where?
In Colorado.
Colorado, huh?
They really piss there a lot.
What's that about?
Well, it's a higher altitude.
Sure. Does that affect you?
And when you're in a public urinal, you know what else you want? You want someone talking to you.
Oh, are you kidding me? I can't believe you brought that up. Have we talked about this before?
No, I haven't.
That's my biggest pet peeve. Are you kidding me? You cannot have, No,
there's a buffer zone. There has to be a buffer zone.
Well, they're so close to each other.
Right.
Typically, there's not any kind of border that makes you feel comfortable.
Right.
But the guy is always the guy that's talking to you when a series of dicks are out.
Right.
Is the same guy who will put his hand on a filthy wall above him.
Right.
And make sounds like he has razor blades coming out.
Right. And also, he's the same guy that leaves behind pubic hairs on the urinal. Because I can honestly say, of all the times I've used a public urinal, not once have I ever had pubic hair fall out.
Worse than that, though, that is more understandable on the urinal.
Right.
How does it end up on the toilet?
Yeah.
You're just shedding while you shit like a woolly mammoth from the ball area?
That's what it is with the urinal, too.
How hairy are your balls?
Are you unzipping your fly and it's like blowing on a dandelion that all the hairs are just flying throughout time and space and landing there?
There's nothing worse to me.
It makes no sense.
Anyway, having to use a public restroom, but continue. Colorado has.
Speaking of which, there's a hotel in New York City, actually a restaurant, La Serena, which is one of Mario Batali's restaurants. Mm-hmm. They have the best urinals because you're at the urinal, but the wall goes all the way down to the floor.
That's great.
On both sides.
Fantastic.
Complete
major
privacy.
Innovation. Can you imagine?
Complete privacy. You can stand there and pee and not hearing anything, not seeing anything. It's my favorite urinal.
Creature comforts.
I often stop there even when I don't have to pee. Anyway,
you just stand there and listen to the serene sounds of the water flow all around.
Exactly. Thinking about the great meal I've just had. It's wonderful. Anyway, in Colorado, they have PSAs. PSAs. Get it?
I got you.
While you're taking a pee, there is a recorded message that warns men against drunk driving. It's a PSA.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So while you're standing there peeing, now the minute you walk in and unzip and start doing your business, I guess that triggers the message. So all of a sudden the urinal starts talking to you.
Okay.
Saying don't drink and drive. It is a little weird.
But they're still trying to do a public service?
Yeah. Don't drink and drive, whatever. So they're assuming, I guess, that the people that are peeing may have had a couple of drinks.
Okay.
I think
which is probably a fair assumption in many,
because
many cases. You're at a restaurant or a bar, yeah, sure.
Right. So, but this could go anywhere. Do you realize that you could put any kind of ad, a talking ad, the minute you unzip, hey, feeling a little short? You should go to
what's the short man outfit company? I know there's men's big and tall, but there's a little guy outfit company,
right? At
least in the tri-state area.
You could do ads for tape measures. You could do sausage ads.
Now,
you could do sausage ads at the urinal.
Yeah, you love Johnsonville sausage. Yeah, it's well packed today.
I can tell by looking at you.
Now, wait a second. Or do you mean to tell me? Now, it's not. I had a couple of drinks, and the urinal can sense that I had
it plays all the time. There's always that public service announcement.
Okay.
A PSA always plays the minute you start using the urinal. The urinal, right. So it's like on a loop, I guess.
Yeah.
So it goes all the time.
Come to Jeremy Weiner's Plastic Surgery. Your wang is a little dented up. It hooks way too far.
Right. So you could put it in a synagogue, and advertise, circumcision. There's so much you could do.
Yeah, shaky the moil.
Shaky the moil. There's so much that you could advertise in the urinals.
I feel like the advertisements they're everywhere now. It's a matter of time.
I think women should have them too. I think there should be, they should have talking toilets for the women.
Yeah.
Come to the House of Clams.